Hi there. Welcome to a quick tour of this Operations and Marketing Collaboration Kit. This is a Notion dashboard for better collaboration, planning, organization, mainly for your operations and marketing. My name is Sanya, and I run a hub for virtual assistants where we connect virtual assistants with clients and we help them build strong and lasting relationships. When clients come to hire virtual assistants for the first time, most of them don't have any collaboration tools in place. It's just email messages, and that often creates chaos and leads to miscommunications. Delegating tasks can be easier and better. And I built this mainly to help my clients, but also anyone else who needs better collaboration tools. I also help other companies build their Notion workspaces from scratch. Working with different clients over the years, I noticed most struggle with document organization, project management, and content planning. They have lacking and outdated documentation. They run projects via emails and Google Drive folders no one can find. Content is all over the place. It's never prepared on time. And they run meetings, they have a lot of meetings, but they don't remember what they need to do after the meeting is over. There are no action points that are followed. So if these are the things that sound familiar to you, and if this is something you struggle with, then do continue watching. This collaboration kit is created to give you the essentials for good collaboration. So let's dive into it, and I will show you now what's inside and how to use it. First, how do you start using it? So you need to have a free Notion account. That will be enough if you don't have files bigger than 5 megabytes and you're collaborating with up to 5 people. Because on a free account, on a personal account, you can invite up to 5 guests at no charge. If you have more collaborators, if you need bigger files uploaded, then you should also think about getting a paid plan, a team plan actually. First thing that you will need to do is actually duplicate. So here's the option to duplicate this workspace to your own Notion workspace. Once you have duplicated it, then you can share it with people you actually work with. And this I will show here. So basically, when you open it here, let me just make it a little bit bigger for you. When you open it here, when you transfer it to your own workspace, you will have an option here to share it. Just click on share, and here you need to invite all the people you want to collaborate with. Just enter their emails, click on invite, and then share this with them as a single page. You will have an option to either share it as a part of the workspace or as a single page. Share it as a single page if you wish to keep everything free of charge. Okay, so now that you have shared this with the teammates you would like to work with, those can be virtual assistants, those can be your actual teammates that are employed in the same company as you. Now we will have a look what's actually inside. This is a very simple dashboard that has 2 sections. First one is operations and second one is marketing. Why those 2? Because I found over the years I have like 20 years of experience, and I noticed that these are the things that most businesses struggle with, but these are also the backbones of your business. if your documentation is not in place, if you're running meetings and are getting lost in everything, if you're running projects via emails, you have no idea what tasks you have to do. And lately, also in marketing, we are all on social media. We are producing a lot of content, but this is all very unorganized. So these are the two main sections that I prepared here for you to start with. We will start with the documents. When you open it, you will have 3 views to choose from. Of course, you can always add new views here. You have a table view, you have a board view here that is really nicely sorted by some, let's call it areas or departments. How this works, you actually have board tags here. Very simple. You just assign a document a board tag and then it will appear under the section it needs to go to. Or you can just add new documents under sections that you need. And of course, you can add different tags. You can change this if you don't use all of them. Also, what you will find that this is divided into active documents and the archived ones. We have nothing here, but once a document is not being used anymore, then just change the status of that document to archive, and then you will have a clear overview of your documents. We have document name, we have date of the document, types of the documents here, statuses, who's the author of the document. This is important because people need to know who to go to when they want to ask a question about a certain document, and you can also attach files to it. So this is a master database for documents. I also added an example, just a couple of examples for documents here. I'll open the frequently asked questions. So this is something when you start delegating tasks to virtual assistants, this is really important because there are a lot of questions that come from your either customers or another teammate or whoever, and that are being repeated. So it's really great to have a frequently asked questions document where anyone can easily find the question to the answer and then provide also this answer to a client. How do you use it? You just type in the questions, type in the answers. You can divide them by certain themes. There's a nice table of contents in the beginning, so you have everything neat, nicely organized. If you want to add another question with an answer here, just click on the add new questions and answers. This is a template that creates another question and answer blocks. Also, you can add a new theme just by clicking here on the theme template. And once this grows into a really big document, this will come handy that you can go to the top of the page right from the bottom of it. So this was the frequently asked questions. I also added a content guide example here and a project document example here. And we have a template here for new documents with table of contents. It's really simple, but I think this structure is really good when you're creating new documents to have a table of contents so you can, at the first glance, just see what this document is really about. So this is documents. Let's move on. In meetings, again, we have 3 boards. We have list of our meetings. We can view our meetings in a calendar view. We can also view them in a board. So we have all our weekly syncs, one after another, project updates, and so on, discovery calls, brainstorming, whatever you really need. Also, I prepared a template here for a new meeting note. So just to give you a look here what's inside. So you can basically list participants. You can add the agenda for your meeting. You can add notes. You can add action points. If you just run meetings with no agenda, with no action points, then most of the time those meetings are useful. So it's good to keep track of those things and to really document it. Okay, let's move on. From meetings, we go into projects. And in projects, again, you have three different views. You have a gallery view that gives you a preview of all of your projects. There is just one here at the moment because this is a template. So we have an example project here, Project Zebra. At the first glance, you can see how many tasks have been already resolved for this project. You can see the status of the project and also see this project is in IT area. You can also see when it starts and when it ends. If you go inside, there are more details to it. Here you have the possibility to actually list your goals and objectives, to write down a project outline, to add a budget to your project, and also you can have here a nice overview of all documents that are related to a project. So this is a linked database from what we previously viewed documents database that is related to this document and that's filtered to a project that we're currently in. It gives you a really good overview that you have all your documentation for this project in one place. Also, projects usually require meetings, so have all your meetings for this project here inside of the project. This again is a linked database of the previously shown meetings notes database, but you can also enter a new meeting note for this project right here. Again, you will have all your data for this project in one place, all your documents, all your meeting notes, and I think very important, you will have all your tasks for this project also here inside of the project. So you have a board, you also have a calendar if this is the view that you prefer, and that's your project. How do you open a new project that has all of those features? You can just go to a template and you can just click on new project template, or when you click here on new, you can just open a new project by clicking on the new project template, and then automatically you will get all of these features listed below. Okay, let me just delete this one. And those were projects. You already saw some tasks there. And this is basically the tasks that are coming from this master database for tasks. So here's a nice table overview that you can start with. Then a second view is a board view that is filtered to only show you tasks that are due today and that are overdue. So they could be due yesterday but are still not completed, so they will also be shown here. Then we have a view for tasks that are due tomorrow, tasks that are assigned only to you, basically tasks that are assigned to me feature. So anyone who is logged in will see their tasks here, and this is just a board for all the tasks that you also can view in that way. Each task has a done checkbox that is automatically checked when a task is set to status done. You can relate any task to a project, but you don't have to. You can also create tasks that don't belong to a certain project here, then just leave this project property empty. For every task, I would always recommend always add due dates. Even if it's not urgent, just add a due date there. It will help you get it done. So those were the tasks, and here's the frequently asked document that I think is really important when you start collaborating with someone, that you have a really clear documents like that. Okay, and we are moving over to marketing. In the beginning here, we have branding. When you start collaborating with people, they are usually, for them to create any content, they need to be aware of your branding guidelines. So here's a dashboard where you can list all your logo variations, where you can add your color palette, where you can list your typography fonts, where you can add some graphic elements. And if you already have some templates, for example, to Canva, you can just add them here. It will be very helpful for anyone who comes in and who starts collaborating on your marketing content. They will easily find the most important information about your brand here. Then what I also included here is a media kit. So I've had clients, they try to reach the media and so on. And then every time someone from the media asks, okay, we will publish the article, they say, but can you give us information about your company? Then they're writing it over and over again and losing time here. So why not just prepare one media kit here? Write down your company overview, product, service information. Add your team most important members for the media, at least, like founders. Add some picture here, add the title, add the bio here. And then once you finish the when you complete this, you can just share this page publicly so that anyone with the link can open it, and next time you need to provide some information to the media about your company, just send out the link. Okay, moving on to the part that I really love the most, and that is content creation. And here are 3 master databases that are related and that really work together. So in the same way as here we had projects that were relating to both the meetings, documents, and tasks, this is all connected. Also here we have channels, campaigns, and content that is related. So let's start with channels. This is your dashboard for channels, where you can list all the that you actually like social media channels, but also Google Ads or your blog or your newsletter. So here you see how many pieces of content you currently have planned and how many are already published for each of those channels. Please note that each of the channels have in the other database content, they have templates. So here for Facebook, there is one planned. This is just template. So always there's this +1. But never mind, it's not so important. If you would like to add a new channel, you can also use the channel template that is here. If, for example, you use, I don't know, TikTok or something like that, that's not here, you can add it yourself. So what do you have inside once you open it? For every channel, you'll have a list of your campaigns and list of your content that's related to this channel. So for example, here you have Instagram, and you see on Instagram we were running the the product launch campaign. And these are some of the examples for the content that was prepared for this channel. Okay, I'll just move back. And for example, so in Google Ads, if you go inside, also this campaign was running on Google Ads, and we had some content here that maybe needs approval or is already complete. So a new ad is complete, it's scheduled, and it will run from 25th of July, just as an example here. So these are your channels. And then we are going into campaigns that you already saw there, because everything is linked. So channels are also linked to campaigns. But if you would like to just have a good overview of your campaigns, go into campaigns. And here is just one campaign example, where you have status of the campaign. When does this campaign start? When does it end? What's the type of the campaign? And what channels are we running it? Here you can also add details about this campaign when you're planning it. So what are the goals and objectives? What's the audience? What are the KPIs and so on? And again, you can have a really good overview of all the content for this campaign, either by channel, listed here in a table, everything, or you can also view it here in calendar. So these were the campaigns. Also, here's the template for the new campaign. When you're running something, just use the template and it will automatically create all those features inside of the campaign. And here we go to content that was already mentioned, because it's related to both channels and to campaigns. It has a couple of views here. So in the beginning, we see every new piece of content. So something that is either not started or something that's in progress, that's still being written, created. And next view is content that is prepared, but that still needs approval. So this is a very common thing when you're working with either virtual assistants or maybe freelancers, or even within a team, somebody needs to approve content. So how do you do that? When you're finished with preparing the content, just change the status to needs approval. Then it will appear here. And whoever needs to manage this, whoever needs to approve it, they can just every day go here into needs approval tab and just look at the content that is waiting for their approval. You can also review all the content that is already scheduled but not yet published. And here's also the content that has been already published. And you can also have a calendar view for all of your content here. So again, let's go back. You can review your content either here in the main master database for content, where you have all content listed for all campaigns, for all channels. If you would just like to have a good overview of what's happening on, I don't know, LinkedIn, that maybe you're just now planning content for LinkedIn, then go inside channels, go inside LinkedIn and do it there, because these are all same databases. Whatever content you add here will also be shown in the master databases. This is all linked one to the other. And if you're working on a campaign, then just go to campaigns and have a good overview of what's happening in that campaign there. Also, at the bottom, you have a calendar that gives you 3 views. So you can review tasks here in the calendar. You can review content. And you can also have a look at your meetings here, so you always know what is going on. Here for tasks, if you're a bigger company and if more people are actually using this database for tasks, if there are a lot of tasks that are being handled on a daily basis, then this may get a little bit crowded. Then you can just add a filter here. And then, for example, on the due date, just add an advanced filter where due is today, for example. And then every time you open it here, you will just see all the tasks that are due today. Or another option that I would recommend here is just change here the assignee contains me. So here you will only see your tasks and not everyone else's. If this is a small company, you don't need to add these filters. It's okay to keep it as is. Of course, anything that you see here actually can be modified. You can change the statuses, you can change the properties, but I do believe that this is really a good start for good collaboration. So that's it. I hope this will be useful to you, and I hope it will help you collaborate better. Thank you and goodbye.